What's up, DC Nation? Welcome back to another video on Injustice Year Zero. Now, I've been enjoying this series so much so far. The first 3 issues were released all in 1 week, like a couple weeks ago, I think, and they were really good, right? We saw the Justice Society return. We saw Joker. He's pretty much coming up with this plan to become a god. Now, last issue, we started the whole, this one main character of this storyline, Andre, explaining, pretty much starting at the beginning, all the way back to Hawkman, Hawkgirl, leading up to the point of how Joker will become a god. But in the last issue, we saw Hawkman get killed by Hawkgirl. She got controlled by the amulet of Apophis, and then she left that thing in pretty much a battlefield during World War II, right? So we have this one general. He went into one of the cars with another soldier, and he's getting ready to pretty much do chaos, right? But opening up this issue number 4, what we see is Andre keeps going. He says, in 1945, I was fighting alongside the Boy Commandos, which is really cool because they're actually really old characters from DC lore. And we see Joker, he's like, wait, what? And Harley's like, Boy Commandos, and Joker's like, kids with guns fighting in a war? And that's when Andre's like, yes. And Joker's like, ooh, that sounds irresponsible. That sounds like a level of danger that even Batman would raise the eyebrow to, which I found this part so funny, guys, because you know what's cool about this part is that, you know how Batman has Robin, so many different Robins, Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, and a lot of them he puts in danger all the time. Crap, Joker killed Jason Todd. So here Joker's saying, man, Batman puts a lot of people in danger, but the Kid Commandos, that sounds even worse. Like that, it's just so ironic. But as we go on, what we see, Harley and Joker are right there, right? And that's when Joker's like, okay, fascinating story so far, Andre, but let's hurry up and get to the Nazi killing. And that's when Andre's like, I thought you liked them. And Joker's like, what? I'm American, I hate Nazis. He's like, I'm a homicidal maniac, not a terrorist bigot. And guys, this is such, okay. Let's just talk about how Tom Taylor is just such a great writer. Like, these just back and forth lines that just sounds like the Joker, they're funny, and they just fit with the story so well. Like, honestly, which line do you think was better? The one with the Kid Commandos, how he thought that was more child endangerment than what Batman does? Or this one where he's saying he hates Nazis and how he's a homicidal maniac, but he's not a traitorous bigot? Like, come on. You guys tell in the comment section below, which one of those 2 lines do you think is better? I honestly like the whole Batman one better, where he's saying like the Kid Commandos sound like more child endangerment than actual what Batman does. I just feel like that's super ironic. But as we continue, what we see next is Andre, he continues his story, right? And you see him say, he's like, with the amulet of Lords of Chaos, with the amulet of Apophis, Dirk Strasser could inhabit anyone, control them, see and act through them. Hitler had him controlling Allied generals, and Strasser commanded their forces into enemy fire. He continues, if you're going to hide a lot of senseless deaths, a world war is the place to do it. And he continues, and he says that the Boy Commandos found ourselves trapped in one of these doomed attacks, and I was a little more doomed than the others. And we see this other person, they're like, Andre, and it's one of the Kid Commandos. And Andre's like, just stay down, Alfie. And that's when he continues, like, I was going to die there, I knew it. I was losing blood. We were surrounded by gunfire and shelling. It was so loud. But guys, what is, this actually traces back to Andre's origin. The last few issues that I went over on this channel, I didn't really mention Andre's origin, how he's connected to the Kid Commandos, because I didn't think it was really, I didn't feel like he was that character. I was like, nah, I don't think he is. Yes, he's old, and he's talking about World War II, but would Tom Taylor really reference that old of characters to Kid Commandos? Well, I underestimated him. Like, come on, he referenced the JSA, well, he brought back the JSA, and now he's got the Kid Commandos. Like, come on, he's bringing back a lot of older characters and putting the spotlight on them, and I really appreciate that. But as we continue, we see that out of pretty much the sky, he says, they all went quiet, and Green came. And we see Alan Scott Green Lantern come from the sky. And we see Andre said, then there was a blur. And we see Jay Garrick flash. And he's like, there was a scream. And we see Dinah Drake, Black Canary. And then we continue, and that's when he's like, a genuine medical miracle. And we see Dr. Midnight, he's like, you're going to be okay, son. And he's like, and the gods appeared in our trench. And we see pretty much Dr. Fate, Wonder Woman, Amazing Man, the Spectre. And Amazing Man's like, what are you doing here? And the Kid Commander's like, we are ordered here, sir. And Amazing Man's like, by whom? And that's when they say to him, he's like, the general. And that's when they find the general, who he's controlled by the amulet of Apophis. this, he's like, who the hell are you? And Spectre's like, I am Jim Corrigan, a soldier in the United States military, and I'm the Spectre, the spirit of vengeance. You were marching your men directly into slaughter. And the general's like, those were my orders. And Mason Man's like, who gave those orders? He's like, I. And Mason Man's like, who? And that's when this general gets crazy eyes. And he's like, oh damn, this isn't going to work, is it? Oh well, it's probably time for some new fun. And we see Wonder Woman, she's like, what? And Dr. Fate's like, something's wrong, I can feel chaos. And there's another mind inside. And they step out, and Dr. Fate's like, no. And we see that these other different generals, Strasser and Andre's like, then we realize that Strasser, he'd been thinking too small. He had seen a greater power he could control. And he sought out the easiest mark in this just society. And that's when we see Strasser come out. He's like, excuse me, I need your help. And this one guy is like, my word, is that man okay? I know a doctor, I'll be right. And then we see Strasser take control of Johnny Thunder, which is such a cool moment, guys. This is actually a really cool moment. What happens next is like, and in controlling Johnny Thunder, he also controlled his genie, YZ. Or more importantly, the Thunderbolt. Now, what's cool about this is Thunderbolt and pretty much Giant Thunder were referenced back in Stargirl. Well, it was actually like Jakeem Thunder, but still in this we had Giant Thunder and Thunderbolt, and I'm just waiting for Thunderbolt to make his live-action appearance on Stargirl. But this is good enough for now. I really like seeing him back in comics. Like, guys, when was the last time we saw Thunderbolt? Like, you guys tell in the comment section below, when was the last time we saw Thunderbolt in DC Comics? I can't even remember. So it's cool to see him here. And what we see is Harley's like, so an all-powerful genie controlled by a hero enslaved by a Nazi working for Hitler? She's like, that's like the world's most messed up Russian nesting doll. That's when we see Thunderbolt fight off against the whole Just Society in this double-page spread, and it looks dope, guys. And we see Andre's like, in the final months of World War II, the Just Society fought another war, as Thunderbolt wreaked havoc. And we see that the Just Society keep taking down Thunderbolt, and they actually come upon Strasser, who is like the general, right? Who has the amulet of Opalfist. And we see Andre's like, by the time the JSA tracked down Strasser, they were angry. They took the amulet, and Strasser's like, oh hey, I remember you. I shot your flying boyfriend. And we see Hawkgirl show up. So that's actually what happened. Hawkgirl killed Hawkman in last issue. What we see is Andre's like, the Just Society fought for all, but in the fight, they lost their friend. Giant Thunder died, guys. This is actually crazy. Giant Thunder was killed. Now, what happens next is Hawkgirl just starts beating the living heck out of Strasser. It pretty much like kills him, right? And that's when the Alan Scott Green Lantern is like, Flash, drop the amulet. And Jake Garrett's like, I don't think I can. And Spectre's like, give it to me, Jake Garrett. And Jake Garrett's like, huh? And Alan Scott's like, Spectre, what are you going to do with it? And that's when we see the Spectre. He's like, I'm going to end this war. He was the spirit of vengeance. He had a whole lot to avenge. The Spectre used the amulet to finish off a great evil. And what we see is Andre's like, and it cost Jim Corrigan deeply. And Alan Scott's like, Spectre? And we see Jim Corrigan, he's separated from the Spectre. He's like, and Alan is like, Jim, are you okay? And Jim Corrigan's like, Alan, I was in his head when I shouldn't have this. I would keep using it. The spirit of vengeance would not let such a power go. No one should have this, and it can't be destroyed. And that's when Alan Scott surrounds the amulet of Opalfist with like a green construct, and Jim Corrigan's like, you have to hide it. And we see Alan Scott, he goes out to like this whole like lake way, and he's like, hide it where? No one can reach it, right? And where Green Lantern hid it was the Mariana Trench. And Harley's like, I suppose the deepest part of the ocean where the pressure would crush a human instantly was a pretty safe hiding place in the 1940s. But now? And Joker's like, now it's a day trip when you have friends in low places. And Harley's like, friends? And Joker's like, people who value their limbs enough not to say no to me. And Joey's like, Harley, fetch a swimsuit. We're journeying to the bottom of the sea. And then it says, next, Black Manta. Now, guys, this is really cool. Because that means we're going to see one, Joker swimming in the ocean again. He may get that look from BTAS that I always think of. Black Manta and Joker teaming up. That's going to be great. And Andre explained the story is very fascinating. It's really cool. Seeing the amulet of Opalfist get like pretty much passed on to different people. We saw Alan Scott, Jake Garrett, we saw Spectre, we saw Jim Corrigan and Spectre get separated for a second, and then we saw Alan Scott, Green Lantern, then pretty much bury this amulet of Opalfist in the bottom of the sea. But the best part of this issue was Strasser, the one general who was controlled by the amulet of Opalfist, then can take control of Giant Thunder, therefore take control of Thunderbolt and unleash him on the Just Society. I thought that part was just so dope, and it made my day, honestly. Seeing the Justice Society go against pretty much Thunderbolt, like we haven't seen that so long. I don't think we've ever seen that, and if we have, it's been decades. So see it again, it's just so great, and yeah, I really appreciate all this lore, the Kid Commandos, all this different stuff that Tom Taylor is bringing back to DC Comics. I appreciate it so much. But guys, overall, I'm giving this issue a 9.2 out of 10. I thought it was a really amazing issue. I definitely recommend you to check it out. You actually should check this series out if you're an Injustice fan, if you're a Justice Society fan, or if you're just a big DC Comics fan. Now guys, in the comment section below, tell me about this issue. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite part? And what are your theories for next issue? If you guys like the video, give a big thumbs up. Use your make subscribe to my next Injustice Year Zero video. And yeah guys, thanks for watching and peace out.